Alright, let's talk about wokeness in video games. So, I came across this channel in my YouTube recommended, and I did some digging. Turns out this guy went from a nobody to 150,000 subscribers in only a few months, primarily talking about the topic of wokeness in video games. So this gentleman, andypants Gaming, has 153,000 subscribers, and if we go to his most popular videos, it's talking about why are video games so gay, who killed masculinity in video games, the pussification of video games, when did games become so soft, woke YouTubers, what is DEI the game? Now if we go to his stats here, as recently as July of this year, he had only 8,000 subscribers, and as of September, he has 150,000 subscribers, a pretty sizable blow up. So you'll notice a common trope with this guy's content is he talks about wokeness, 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 wokeness. One thing that I personally have a problem with when this topic is brought up is sometimes the people who talk about wokeness and things like that have a very hard time actually explaining what it is. So I did some digging, and he actually has a video called What Makes Something Woke.
So I hear the term woke thrown around a lot, and I have to admit, I don't think we've done a good job at explaining what the term means. Does woke simply mean that we believe black people or gay people shouldn't be in games? Of course not. Black people and gay people have been in tons of celebrated games the past 20 years. So what is woke then? Woke is the forced, inorganic inclusion of certain token minorities and groups in order to score DEI and ESG points.
So I completely agree with that definition, honestly. I think it's pretty fair to say that when something is inorganically placed into a certain franchise or IP that you know it wouldn't belong, it's sort of like a puzzle piece that doesn't quite fit, everyone's gonna point it out, laugh at it, cringe at it, call it woke, right? Especially when it's titles that have looked and felt a certain way for almost decades at this point that are obviously just trying to chuck in the new current thing in order to blend in with the contemporaries, right?
Look at this. This is from the Cosmo Canyon area that is clearly based on Native American settlements in places like Arizona, Utah, and New Mexico. Well, instead of seeing reality reflected in the game like all these DEI people claim they want to do, the first person you see in this part of the game is a plus-size black woman who owns a ranch. This is like Native American stolen valor. Then you walk into a small settlement and you see like 15 different races in one town.
Now, with that being said, something that I believe that I don't know if this guy believes, as we'll get into, is I don't inherently think that that makes the game worse.
Are you fucking gay?
It can, and oftentimes does, but I don't think by default it makes something worse, and I think that's where the problem comes in.
Well, I think they just honestly throw in people they're friends with because they obviously hate white people. The reason why woke has become such a dirty word, though, in the gamer world is because woke directly contrasts historical gamer tropes. Since their creation in the 70s, video games have always been catered towards a male audience. And men since the dawn of time have been obsessed with what? Naked women, war, explosions, guns, and funny jokes.
So one thing that's important to keep in mind is one thing that he said that I agree with, but I also think there's more behind it, is when he says the reason that things go woke is to score diversity points or ESG points. I think one thing to keep in mind is he mentions that gaming has been historically male-dominated, which is absolutely true, but as gaming has become more popular, it appeals to more people than just men. Obviously now more men are playing video games than there used to be, but that's because more people are playing video games than there used to be, right? Your grandmother is playing Candy Crush on her iPhone or her Kindle or something. And now your little sister, who you could have never imagined to have been playing video games like 20 years ago, now she's playing Roblox.
You know what? Father, we're done!
We're not done! Daddy isn't done speaking! You will come back here!
So all sorts of minority groups who would not have previously been playing video games historically are now joining in. So I think the whole notion of just doing it to score diversity points has some flaws in it, right? You can't just think that that's their only motivation to do so. When the player base for these games is changing rapidly and has proven to have changed in the demographics over the past decade. Now, one other problem that I think this guy's logic has is he equates woke with bad, and I disagree. I don't think that being woke makes a game bad, and I don't think being not woke makes a game good. Like, just because a game has, you know, a straight white guy with an AR-15 shooting people, I don't think that makes the game good. And it goes both ways. Like, if it's a blue-haired liberal gay feminist or whatever shooting the AR-15, or maybe the opposite, advocating for gun control, press A to protest, that also doesn't make the game good. I genuinely feel like a lot of the nuance in this conversation has been lost because I just play games if they're good. Like, my favorite game of all time is Overwatch. Overwatch has an incredibly diverse cast of heroes that you can play. The cover of the game is Tracer, who's lesbian canonically. It's my favorite game of all time, by far. I love it because the mechanics are cool, the ultimates are cool, everything about the way the game plays, the counter swapping, everything is just, it just makes it for a great game. The competitive scene is great, etc. Now, it does cross my mind every now and then that, yeah, this game is kind of fucking gay, but it doesn't upset me, I guess, because the game is great. And CSGO is a great example of a game that is basically just like completely designed for men. It's like, you know, it's a war game, you're planting bombs, the art style, everything about it is very heterosexual, but I don't have a problem with that. It's a great game. And for Mr. Andypants, right, I ended up reacting to one of his videos on my stream channel, which you should go check out, and he left a nice comment. He said, "What up? Thanks for the fair review. The whole go do something else could easily be said to the LGBT devs, though. Why do they feel the need to come in and fuck up games when they could just do something else?" I mean, I agree. That was one part of the stream where I basically said, like, if you're gonna take issue with a good game because of the colors and perhaps the fact that there's certain minority groups in it when the game is objectively good, you need to do something else then. But I specifically wanted to look at one video he made called the Pussification of video games. I want to react to this today with you guys because it's a very interesting video he made. It's his most recent and viral video, if that makes sense. It's his most recent viral video. Almost 1 million views in 2 weeks. I mean, the YouTube algorithm is begging me to watch this, so I think I'll give it what it wants.
Today, I want to talk about the great pussification of video games that has happened the past.
Okay, so another issue this guy runs into is when he says, "This is gay," when it's fucking Fortnite on the screen. Brother, I don't think it's gay. Maybe it's just for kids. Like, this guy's idea of, like, the manliest game is one where you're doing no Russian, and that's every mission in the game, because you're brutally massacring a group of people holding a gun. That's rated M. It's not going woke if you can make a game playable to kids and add funny dances. That's making a game that's available for kids to play. That's just not going woke. You have a misunderstanding of that term if you're using that to describe this, or you're saying it's gay. It's not gay. It's for fucking children. That's like saying Thomas the Tank Engine is gay because they're not having train track threesomes in the fucking show. And Thomas isn't going to Pound Town with the female trains. Like, that's retarded. It's just for children, you know?
Is it a soy-based diet doing this? Is it the rise of OnlyFans simping doing this? If you have recently had the thought, I wonder what new pumpkin-flavored items Trader Joe's has, be careful, my brother in Christ. You might be gay now. But if there's one thing that is straight as hell, it's the rock-solid video games of the 2000s. Your Gears of War, your Medals of Honor, your Chronicles of Riddicks. These games were masculine as hell, and we want them back, and we're boycotting video games until they come back. I recently saw this disappointing photo of Phil Spencer being pushed out of the photo by 2 domineering girl bosses who are probably unfulfilled because they're trying to succeed in the corporate world instead of having children at home like God designed them to. And don't you love...
And then, you know, I'm gonna ask you guys if that's gonna, like, upset you or whatever. This guy does a lot of that kind of shit. I find it funny. If you can't handle it, I don't know, don't watch or just try to ignore it. I'm just here to look at the actual arguments he's making. When he makes the little quips of, like, this is gay, or go back to the kitchen, stop making games, whatever, right? I don't know. Maybe I am desensitized to it. I don't give a fuck, but that's a lot of what this guy does. And honestly, it's working. I mean, this dude's growing massive. It's obvious that people have this, you know, pent-up rage or unfilteredness that they're trying to get out, and this guy's being their mouthpiece, so he's doing something right.
Hey guys, I'm still one of the bros, right? Look, like, we can still hang, right? Nah, Phil, you're trash. You got cucked, dude. You're useless. So I have found that there are still people out there who deny the simple fact that games have gone woke, homo, and gay in 2024. So in this
is something else I find really interesting. Is gaming itself really even that straight? Like, is it really that fucking heterosexual to sit down and play a game where there's, like, naked women in it and then you're shooting people? Wouldn't it be more straight to go to the gym and then, like, cold approach a girl, get her number, and bring her home? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like the amount of upsetness that goes toward this topic from disgruntled gamers, which I understand where it comes from, and this guy, he's getting paid to do it, so he gets a pass. But if you're like a viewer of this guy and you spend like hours consuming this sort of stuff, wouldn't it just be better in terms of preserving your masculinity to just like go out to the range and fucking shoot a gun or something, or like get a girl's Snapchat? I don't think it's that heterosexual or masculine to write comments and enjoy content like this in your free time nonstop.
I'm going to literally prove it to you using science. What we will do is read the back of the box description of 6 random games from 2024, and then we will read the back of the box descriptions of 6 random games from the 2000s. And if what I'm saying is true, we should notice a feminization, a pussification, a gayification of video games that has happened the past 20 years. And before you bring up that video games don't have boxes anymore in 2024, calm your tits, you know what I mean. So to find 6 modern games, I didn't have to look very far. I literally just went to the front page of Xbox Game Pass and found these games. This is clearly what Phil and his team of homos actually expects us men to play. Here they are. Creatures of Ava, Dungeons of...
So that's not true. So he goes into this with a false assumption, right? That he expects grown-ass men to play these games. I don't think that's true. That's just where I disagree. I don't think it's expected, looking at these 6 titles, that grown men are going to play these games. I don't think that's true. I think one thing that's taken place with the demographic shift of gamers is not only has it become, more inclusive to women and minorities, but also children. A lot of kids are playing games now more than ever. I was probably part of the first generation that really grew up playing video games. Whereas when gaming was, kind of first coming out, a lot of the people who were playing were like grown-ass men playing COD. So a lot of the games were designed to fill that market of grown-ass men who just wanted to play shooters, right? Xbox is what parents get their kids because they don't trust them with the PC.
Xbox, record that.
So therefore, the games are going to look like they're for children. And that's the problem, right? Things are colorful and vibrant for kids, but they can also be color and vibrant for homos. That's the problem. And I think he doesn't have a good enough radar to detect the difference.
Flintlock Siege of Dawn, Flock, Magical Delicacy, and Chia. Now you might say, oh, Andrew, you're specifically picking out games aimed at children. No, dude, I'm literally just going to the front page of Game Pass, and these are 6 games featured on the front page of Game Pass.
Yeah, but these games, even though they didn't pick them out to find kids' games to shit on, they're still mostly for children. This Flock game here is rated E for everyone, which is for kids. Flintlock is the only rated M game that I found. This game is E for everyone, and this is rated T. So you have 2 games for kids, 1 game for teens, and 1 game for adults.
Also, side note, isn't it weird that these pedo developers are always making games aimed at kids? But that's a whole other thing I'm not going to get into right now. Alright, so what games from the 2000s should we compare these with? These are 6 kind of random games that I just happened to pull off the shelf without thinking too much about it. They are Brothers in Arms Road to Hill 30, Ride to Hell Retribution, Modern Warfare 2, Dark Sector, Deus Ex Human Revolution, Chronicles of Riddick, Assault on Dark Athena. And again, all I'm going to do here is read the descriptions and we will compare. 2024, Creatures of Ava. Let your empathy guide you as you play an exciting action-adventure creature saver game. Understand and tame the creatures of Ava and let them lead you through a variety of ecosystems, all in the hopes of saving the planet from a life-consuming infection.
Okay, this is the problem. Saying it as a nerd or saying it as like however he's saying it, let your empathy guide you to make it sound weird. Like, again, what do you want them to say? Let's fuck some bitches, get some money. Bah. It doesn't make sense. This guy, I swear, if Mario came out today, he'd be like, this is the kind of woke shit they're pushing for. A strong Italian immigrant who works a job as a plumber is being drawn into the world of simping to save a princess who doesn't even want him. That bitch would leave you on bread. That bitch would leave you on bread, Mario. You gotta stick with your brother Luigi. This is the problem, is like you're going out of your way to find an issue with the fucking kids game. If you're gonna get mad at woke shit, at least get mad at rated M woke shit, okay? Because you brought up 6 rated M games that are all shooters, right? Now find 6 rated M games that are all shooters now, and let's do the woke comparison. That'll be more fair. And if you still find that they're all woke, then okay, that's fair. But like, at least make it even. Like, look at the biggest games. Like Elden Ring won Game of the Year. What's woke about Elden Ring? Am I missing something? Didn't seem very woke. Seems like a great fucking game. And I have to say that because they think woke equals bad, right? So if they want to find a way to say that it's woke, well, they're not going to find a way to say that it's bad. So you understand what I'm saying?
I also found out that the 2 main characters of this game are, of course, homosexual black women because, 2024. Let your empathy guide you? Like, what the hell? I don't play video games to let my empathy guide me in, ooh, I want to be gay and collect creatures and, like, this game just sounds retarded, let's be honest.
That's just Pokemon. I don't play the game to be gay and collect creatures. Dude, I got this shit for like $10 on AliExpress. I like Pokemon, give me a fucking break. And you can't call me woke because I have a man... This is fucking Tony Montana, okay? Is that very gay? I don't know, man. Like, I'm trying to, like, meet this guy where he is, but then he says some shit like, oh, I don't collect creatures because I'm not gay. Would you rather collect STDs from fucking hotel hookers? Is that more straight to you?
2005, Brothers in Arms Road to Hill 30. The back of the box says this: they would sacrifice everything, accept each other. Like, damn, dude, just grabs you by the balls. Like that.
Go to war and get shot. That's awesome and base and not gay. Bro, World War III for Israel, I got shot in the fucking head. Oh, that's fucking straight as hell.
That is the back of a box. I'm like, okay, I'm interested now. That is a dope intro for a back of the box. It goes on, the night before D-Day, 1944. The paratroopers of the 101st Airborne Division are dropped into Normandy and scattered behind
This game looks like fucking shit.
enemy lines. As Sergeant Matt Baker, lead your squad through 8 harrowing days that will define history and unite you forever as brothers in arms. Like, bro, like the balls of these games description. I have to go play this game now. See, this is what's honestly missing from the 2024 homo trash. Like, nothing is good anymore. Nothing grabs us. This is why video games profits are down.
Like, that's just not... what do I say to that? That's just not true. Okay, I'm sorry. It looks like revenue is down 2% for the entire industry. Yeah, I'm sure that 2% was because they didn't have a back of the box for the game that grabbed you by the balls because it talked about getting shot in war. That must be it. This is the problem, is that this person sees that 2% decline or whatever and thinks, solution, let's add more guns, more death, more army, more rated M, when it's like, no, actually, the reality is the game industry would grow if more kids could play video games, because who has the most free time? Children. Like, just because you add, like, a bunch of white guys with guns and MAGA hats, like, the game industry will not do better. You have to make good games. And, like, it obviously goes both ways. Like, adding a bunch of, like, fat, retarded lesbians won't make the game industry grow either, but, like, let's just be real for a second.
Quit catering to their base market of men. Next game. 2024 Dungeons of Hinterberg. Armed with a sword and a tourist guide, explore the beautiful alpine village of Hinterberg and uncover the magic hidden within its dungeons. Master magic, solve puzzles, slay monsters. All this and more awaits you in Hinterberg. Like, okay, I like swords, but based on the game's art style, I know within the first 5 minutes, we're meeting somebody's non-binary boyfriend. Like, nah, dude, I'm good. Now compare this with the 2013 masterpiece.
Like, this person would see an objectively good game like The Legend of Zelda and be like, bro, is he like an elf? Does he get fucked in the butt? Like, this person's judgment on a game being good or not is the art style and the race and orientation of the characters. That's literally it.
Ride to Hell Retribution. Back of the box says this: 2 fists, 2 wheels, no rules. Now, it's a little cheesy, but I already know one thing. This game has balls. But it gets better. A lone rider, Jake Conway, locked in a battle to the death against a ruthless gang of bikers called the Devil's Hand. Okay, and you got a hot chick on the back. Like, dude, I'm in. I want to play this game now. These 2024 games will be...
So this guy is just horny? Go get a girlfriend.
3 sentences long and still can't grab my attention. And then with like one word, this 2013 game completely has me by the balls. Like, guys, it kind of makes me sad that
Can you stop describing games as having you by the balls? That's kind of gay, bro.
Actually used to export like cool stuff to the world, and now it's just homo woke.
It's homo
garbage.
trash. Okay, I know it's homo woke garbage.
Like, I know you dudes in Europe know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. It's all homo woke trash.
Like, America used to export, you know, the Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, the Stallone movies, like all of the awesome stuff of the 80s and 90s. And look at like the homo trash garbage that America is exporting today. And it's such a shame. Next game, 2024 Flintlock Siege of Dawn. Step into the boots of Nor Van Anik, an elite member of the Coalition Army, joined by Inky.
Army that says army, step into the boots of... This is... I know for a fact. I know for a fact if the art style was different and it wasn't a black one, he'd be like, whoa. Anyone else's balls feel that? They're talking about war. Oh, yes. Step in the boots. But the reality is, I mean, it's not about the back of the box. He doesn't care. It's just about like, oh, can you not be gay? It's homo trash. It's homo trash.
A mysterious fox-like companion in their quest for vengeance against the gods. Guided by Inky, who shares his knowledge of the world with you, your combat skills and traversal abilities will be imbued with this magical powers, making you a duo to be reckoned with. Like, nah, dude, it just sounds gay. It sounds queer. Why is every game like this now? It's always some magical nonsense that never sounds cool. It's like none of these developers beta tested any of these ideas with normal guys. I guarantee you get a bunch of straight dudes in a room and they would tell you this idea was terrible. Oh, but the cherry on top, of course, is this. Black female lesbian girl boss as the main character. Like, F off, dude. I'm not playing. I think it's a woman.
The thing is, these guys don't play video games. Let's get these guys in a room and ask them how they feel about video games. They obviously don't fucking play video games, bro. They'd say it's corny because they don't game.
All right, jumping back to the 2000s. And I know this isn't fair to compare this.
Okay, MW2, I know, but like, oh, and it's no Russian.
Hated to bring the world to the brink of collapse. Now I'm like, whoa.
Let's just watch the most replayed.
Don't exist. Gay men don't play your games. Kids don't play Xboxes. Women don't.
Kids do play Xboxes. That's just not true.
Play Xboxes.
Women do play Xboxes. He's just wrong.
Phil Spencer and PlayStation and all these companies need to wake up and frickin' realize that straight dudes are playing these games and they need to be making games.
Yeah, that's true, but it's just like the rest you said was just not true. Whatever. This video was homo trash, and I don't know. That's all I have to say. Bye.